Good evening, Piyush sir.
Good evening, madam. I'm just arranging the PPTs in a minute. Yeah. Well, good evening, madam. घनश्याम पाठवलं का त्यांना लिंक?
Yes, sir. Join पण झालं.
Join झालं. Yes.
Yeah. तर YouTube लाईव्हला जवळपास बरेच लोक जॉईन झाले.
बरं. काय प्रेझेंटेशन घ्यायचंय पण हा सगळा स्क्रीन रिड्यूस केल्यानंतर तो युअर व्ह्यूइंग घनश्याम तो व्ह्यू ऑप्शन्स असेल तर त्याच्याकरता ते नाही तुझं काही करू नको. हे झालं
शेअर आहे सर.
नाही तो काही मुद्दा नाही झालं. Yes, fine. When do we start? Can we start in 5 minutes? People are joining.
Yes.
It's light. There is no electricity over here. Maybe my internet will be a little unstable. That's okay. We'll be starting in a few minutes. Okay. Shall we start, Ganesham?
Yes, sir.
Professor Madam, shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Thank you. Well, good evening, all. It's
Good
a
evening.
pleasure to be with all of you. Me and Badrunisa Madam are here to conduct this session on academic audit. For a very long time, there has been a constant demand regarding academic audit. We also have something more to offer, which we would like to brief up in few minutes first, and then we will start with academic audit. The session of academic audit, without question, should go on for 1 hour and 10 minutes or so. And we are launching something that's very useful, and that happens to be a portal between the colleges and IQC Cluster India. So before we start with academic audit, I just wish to give you some idea and information about the portal, which can operate between IQC Cluster India and uh, the respective colleges. Just as you have a portal between NAC and the college, you can a portal between the between IQC Cluster India and college is ready. IQC Cluster India is proud to offer it. What does it do? This portal will be a continuous one-to-one communication between college and cluster. Secondly, there is a dedicated mentor for a continuous support. Thirdly, there will be an assistance to identify the weaker areas, and we will be guiding them how to overcome them. The fourth aspect happens to be the AQR that has been prepared and that has been posted, that will be analyzed. That is, the previous AQRs will be analyzed, and we can help you what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, what are those areas. For example, NAC has certain benchmarks. Now those benchmarks are not known to the colleges. We have tried to find them out. So though the activities are being conducted, maybe they are not up to the benchmarks. So what can be done so that in the futuristic way something can be corrected? Although in the previous past, the past cannot be repaired out, the future can be made accordingly so that things can work. We can also help you in telling what kind of activities possibly be done over there. We can help you in giving you the activity that is going to be conducted. If it is conducted in that particular manner, what can be the prediction score that is for that particular activity? Out of 4, what score can come in? Then something very specific is we can help you in giving you some kind of getting MOUs between the organizations, because we know a large number of organizations, they have their requests. So we can help you to bring come together, and you can decide upon the areas of MOUs and you can work it out. All this can be done by us. There is one more thing, all the regular updates that come with respect to NAC, they will be provided to you. And a special assistance can be provided during the NAC period. So this is what is the big part that you're able to see. If you are interested, we will like to talk to you. We will like to talk to you with your management representative directly so that it will help you out. Today, maybe there are either the principals or the directors who are over here, or IPC coordinators or IPC personnel who are there. If you can let us know, we can fix up the dates and we can set it up. If you ask for a proposal, we can definitely send you the proposal. The charges that we are putting up are extremely reasonable. There is one more added advantage that you are able to see. The registration is going to be for 2 years. Though we are charging only for 1 year. We are actually going to charge for 21-22. But the services will start from now, that is 2021. The payments will be done now only. They are not very big amounts. The payment will be done now, but right from now to, it's almost the current AQR is yet to be written down. It is in process. So 1920 का AQR भी जा सकता है, उसमें आ सकता है 2021 का AQR भी आ सकता है, 21-22 का AQR भी उसमें आ सकता है. So that gives you a bigger advantage. So this is one more advantage that you are able to see. And plus cluster has so many things to offer. So many things to offer. Today's example is that academic audit can be done. Currently, we are doing academic audits online on an online offline basis. And we will be guiding you how that can be done. If some colleges in New Delhi, how they can get their academic audit done with the help of a cluster, and plus in an online offline mode, though we may not come over there. Ganesham, do we have our presentation ready for it? Can we show it? How the portal will look like?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please put it up. So there are endless possibilities. We can help you in a very large, on a variety of fronts, and a dedicated mentor will make things different. And in case you need specific mentors, for example, a mentor for research, you can get one. So we have a very good number of people with us who can help you in guiding. And IQAC Cluster India is a registered body now. So an agreement can be done between the two institutions. So we'll just look into how this portal is, and then we will immediately start with our work. Yes. Let's start, Ganesham.
Yes, sir.
This will be extremely useful for the colleges. And you can just, I think so, Ganesham portal on the website, we have you put it up that they can get the quote if they want to. or it can be put up. Yes, now just look into this, all of my friends. This is the first page that I am putting up. For example, it is the first page between your college and the cluster. So it would be having your college logo. Scroll okay, correct me. Yeah. It will be having your college logo. It will be having when the agreement between the two between us expires on. Then you are able to see when was the page last visited by you. Then the page when was it last updated. There will be some part that will be updated by you, and there will be some part that will be provided by us. Then max cycle duration, which cycle are you? Now IPSC event, news and events, anything related to registration, message from the mentor, then registration is open for so and so duration. Registration for a particular activity that can be given. Message that comes from the mentor. All these come on the very first page. In the navigation column, just look at this. You are able to see there is a dashboard which tells us about NAC extended profile. What is the extended profile here? Because extended profile becomes the denominator of for NAC. So each year the data needs to be filled up. For example, number of courses that are offered by the institution, number of programs that are offered by the institution. Then you are able to see number of students that you are able to see that are present in the last 5 years. Then how many reserve category students are present over there. All this data about teachers, about infrastructure, this data will be filled up by the organization. This is one thing. This will be extremely important because this is going to help us in predicting now the score for a particular activity. If we are able to conduct those activities continuously with a high rating over a period of time, that particular metric will start earning good scores. Then you are able to see question and answers. Whatever doubts you have, you can ask. Or this is what would come in. Okay. Now, whatever is your general questions and answers, they will be answered out over here. Then what are the, whichever question that is asked, that will be answered out. Then what are the compliances that MAC has given to you in the previous cycle, and how have they been completed? To what level have they been completed? If they have not been completed, we can guide you as to how they can be completed out. These are the compliances. Then there is one more thing regarding AQR. Max AQR criteria. Just take that. Yeah, fine. So that would actually be going criterion wise. For example, here we have 7 criteria. Each criteria, we won't be taking the proofs from you. We will check. You see your proofs on your websites. We'll request you, or it can come on a drive also. We'll be checking it out over there. And here, whatever data is to be provided, what should come in, that will come in over here. All the data that will be needed, that will be guided out over here. So in other words, AQRs can be made better, and AQRs can be made more precise. Those areas which could be very small areas, but they are missed out. Those those areas can be updated. What has changed now is, for example, we have 1.1.1 over here. Now the answer has been written down for that particular AQR. Next year you write down the answer again. On our portal, we are able to see I mean to say on the NAC portal, you are able to see only one question coming up. But on the portal where NAC is going to see it, they will be able to see it year-wise. So for example, for 1.1.1, what was written by you in 1718? Now what is being written down in 1819? What is being written down in 1920? That would come one below another. There is a great chance that I have seen this in the previous 8 years when I had assessed them out for SWOT analysis. People cut paste. Now that would be seen one below another, and that would lead to a bigger problem. So that should not happen. So here a proper guidance can be given to you, and that would be great. For the entire AQR that you are going to write down, it will be checked out by us also. Necessary areas will be suggested. Necessary things, corrections can be suggested. Previous AQRs can be assessed, though they cannot be modified any longer now. But they can be assessed, and so that what in the new AQR, what changes can be done, that can be suggested. So all these areas would be coming up. Besides, what are the other services and audits that we can offer? A list of it is being provided. For example, academic audit, energy audit, green audits, feedbacks, SWOT analysis, student satisfaction surveys, policies and procedure writing, and all these training programs, MAC trainings, seminars and webinars. These are the other additional services that we can offer. So all this data comes to you on the on the portal. It is available to you. We are accessible to you, and we are available to you. So different colleges are in different status, in different levels. They are placed at different places, on at different pedestals. So the help that they need is the help that we can provide them. This is what we wanted to share upon. And if you are interested in this, we request you to just send us a message. We will be giving you all the details. We will be sending you the proposals also. We like to talk to your management also, and we like to be give you a hand-in-hand service. Currently, we are ready with we are able to cater to 100 colleges. We have an excellent technology support with us, and any help that you need at any time, that can be made available. With this brief promotion that we wanted to do, let us start with our main work, and we will start with the academic audits. Ganesham, I will now need the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, uh, good evening again to all of you from me and Dr. Badrunisa. To introduce Dr. Badrunisa, Dr. Badrunisa is the quality head of Kripanidhi Group of Institutions, Bangalore. She has completed her PhD in biochemistry, and she is also a ISO lead auditor. In the course that we had conducted for the principals, directors, and IQC coordinators on institutional quality, we together had conducted that course. The first batch, which is a limited batch every time of 20 people only, and which helps you in writing down your policies for your organization and implementing them. That first batch has been completed by us. That particular batch has assignments of presenting in one national webinar, which was done by all the 20 people. Second, writing down one policy, which comes in sharing with another 20 people who are from different states, and which is a very big brainstorming exercise. And writing down a book, a chapter in the book. These are the three big assignments, and these books become ISBN books, which are published. The first publication, the second publication actually, the first for this particular course would take place on policies very soon. We have already got the ISBN number, and before February, that book will be published. That will also be advertised so that those who are interested in understanding how to write down the policies, that's a real reference that is available with all Indian situations that you are able to see. With this brief introduction about Dr. Badrunisa, today we will actually be going for academic auditing and its importance. What we will be looking up is, initially we will first look into the presentation for a few minutes. Then we will be looking into how academic auditing is actually done, where how key indicators play a role and whatnot. And after that, we'll actually look into the formats. After you complete the after this session is over, these formats will be mailed on all the mail IDs that we have received today. Those formats are absolutely free. There's only one request: in case you use this format, you have to make a mention that we have this format is of IQAC Cluster India. In case you need our help, we can help you that in that way also. In case you don't need our help, even then that's fine. You can use those formats, and after using those formats in your report, one statement is necessary that we have used the format suggested by IPC India. All this is that we expect. We don't expect big things. Definitely, we can help you in the processes for academic auditing. Now, what is an academic audit? Let's go into a little history of it also. The Tennessee Board of Regents says that it's a long definition that they have given. I have put it into a brief way. Academic audit is number one, faculty-driven model of ongoing. Part B, self-reflection, peer feedback, collaboration, and teamwork. These are the areas that you are able to see. Then the third part happens to be to improve educational quality processes in teaching and learning, and hence the students. It is a process of continuous improvement in teaching and learning, leading to student success. Now, what is very important over here is how did this model come out? This is a model that has come out in the way that when academic auditing, when the teachers were teaching, the teachers had demanded in some institutions, we want ourselves to be checked. What we are doing is fine, no doubt about it. But what we are doing, where can we improvise on? This is what, in reality, what should be is that the teacher should ask. So an academic audit comes into picture when a teacher says that no, we are doing things very nicely, but let us check it out. Let us check it, or let some peers come and check it out. And that is where auditing comes in. And before we look into academic audit, we have heard some of these words: feedback, peer review, suggestion, audit. I'll take one example, kindly don't mis- take it in any another way. It is not related to academics. A lady is preparing in Maharashtra. There is a sweet that is prepared called as the puran poli. It's a kind of a stuffed basin, sweet basin roti, and where the expertise can go to any extent, where you may at times find a puran poli called mandla being prepared to the level of something like 1 meter, and it being baked on the matkas. Very huge kind of a roti that is prepared. It is called as the manda, or it could be small. The sweetness and preparing it needs skill. Now it so happened that a lady prepared it and it did not work well. So she decided to go and see what the neighbor is doing. When the neighbor was preparing it, she went over there and she saw the making of puran puri. Then she understood that the lady had kept a pallo on her head. This lady came back and tried to do puran puri. The result was the same. So then She again went and asked the lady as to how do you do it. She said, when I prepare it, I ask my family members how it is done. No, asking the family members whether it tastes well or not is the feedback. So we take feedbacks. It only gives you an idea whether it is good or it is not good, whether it is okay or it is not okay. There is no compulsion that you have to correct it. There is one more way, and that is a peer review, where we have this mechanism and how do you feel, and in case there are any suggestions, the peer will tell कि ना ये कुछ ऐसी बात है ये दे वो ढंग की होनी चाहिए उसको जरा करेक्ट करोगे तो things will be okay. It is a review. It may be, may not be followed. At times you get suggestions. All these are going to help us in the quality, but they are not mandatory. They come from someone, they don't come from ourselves. Whereas audit is a self driven mechanism. I want to check myself. So let me go through each and every process of mine. When that lady says that कहाँ गलती होगी मेरी पूरन पोली बनाने में, at that time she understands that the atta that was prepared was not up to the right mark. The quality of the atta was not very good. The amount of water added in the dough was not very good. In preparing the puran poli, the sweet puran that was prepared, the amount of time it needs cooking that was not done. Then the way it has to be grinded, it has not been grinded. The way it is to be filled up in the roti is not being done properly. So understanding those finer areas where things are going wrong is an audit. Who is doing it? You yourself are doing it. Now this is the big difference. When I check my systems, I understand things better. When others tell me that something is going wrong, I may take it seriously, I may not take it seriously. This is the difference between everything else and in the audit. Audit is a self-checking mechanism. कहाँ गलत हो रहा है? Either you can do it on your own, or you may do it with some other person. Invite someone who is an expert in it and get it done. There was a lady who was kicking her scooty for a very long time. She tried the button for a very, very long period of time. Then she started kicking the vehicle for a very, very long time, but the vehicle did not start. There were a few men around. They tried to tell her, may I help you? She thought that because they are men and therefore they are trying to offer me a hand, which may be true also. Finally, she decided that कुछ भी करके गाड़ी तो शुरू होनी चाहिए. So she called. There was a school girl of 8-9 standard was passing by. She said, "Tai, can you please start this vehicle?" She said, "Yes, I can start the vehicle." She put on the key and pressed the button, and the vehicle started. What had gone wrong was that the key is not put on, and therefore the vehicle is not running. There is a mistake, some mistake is taking place, but I am not able to understand it on my own. This is where an audit comes in. An audit does not come into picture where things are going on excellently. Even if they are going on excellently, it needs to be checked out. One thing, if it is going on excellently, how best can it go on further? What more changes can be done? And then these become the tools for an audit: feedback, peer review, suggestions. They become a tool for the audit, and they also help the audit to be done better. Now let us see who are our friends who help us in academic audits. This is how audit started actually. Who, when, why, how. These are the 4 questions that help us to do an audit better. So internal audits, when we talk of, the teachers can do it. And Badrunisa madam will be giving you more details also in a very short while about it. So we must audit so that we come to know what we are doing is right, in a right way, for a right cause, and in a right spirit. And now when to do it? At the end of academic year or at the beginning of academic year? Every year, every twice, once in 2 years, once in 5 years, twice in 5 years. When to do? This is one more problem that people are facing, or it should go on continuously. We need to know the system, whether the system is running right or wrong. So therefore, Mac has also given some suggestions, which we'll see later on. So now, why do an academic audit? It is a self-reflection and for self-improvement. I must evaluate my quality process. Unless I evaluate, I won't understand my problems. Unless I understand my problems, I cannot solve them. So if I want to solve the problem, I must know the problem. It's a peer review process, including a self-study and a site visit by the peers from outside the institution, whom we call auditors. The departments have to prepare and develop and improve the quality of the processes, and they should be accountable. We're just looking into the briefs and then we will be actually looking into the details. Now, what are the principles of the quality and what are the focal areas? We should be able to define the terms in terms of outcomes. Second, the process should be ethical. Thirdly, we should be able to work in a team. Fourthly, we should be logical and consistent. Fifthly, we should be able to have a decision based on the evidence. We should create best practices and we should learn from the best practices. We should continuously improve ourselves. And the focal areas here would be the learning outcomes, curriculum, teaching and learning, student learning and assessment. These are the areas that you are able to see. Now, when we are going for an academic audit, something very important. For what are we doing an academic audit? I want to check myself. But in which area do you want to check yourself? I have seen fantastic academic audits. I remember I was in the South Maharashtra. I met a person who said that we do academic audit every year. I asked them, why do you do it? He said, we do it. What do you find out of? He said, no, we do it. So what do you do? Well, we check everything. But what do you check? He said, we check number of teachers, we check number of benches, we check number of things, we check this, we check that, we do this, we do this, we do this, we do this. I said, what is the outcome? Audit is done. I said, how do you come to the compliances of the audit? कुछ भी दे देते उसमें क्या है? Don't do an academic audit for heck of it. An academic audit must be done for a reason. For example, I have given 3 examples here. The student strength is dropping down in an organization. Now, I am not talking about those, or even for those organizations. For example, in Delhi, the student is provided by the university. But if the student is not going to come to you, it would mean that there is some problem. So why is the student strength dropping down? This could be a reason. Or I have a course which has a higher fee. The students are not coming to it. What is the issue? Whether it is the fee, whether it is the teachers, whether it is the environment, whether it is not having a proper canteen, whether it is not having a good library. So I am doing an audit. Or in another example, safety and security of the organization with respect to students. That the girls don't feel safe in that particular environment. As a result of which students are not coming to the organization. As a result of which the quality of students is dropping down. Now let me do an audit. Why? What is the issue? Whether it is my face that is mattering out or it is a problem that we are really facing. Now so therefore, while doing an audit must have a reason. जैसे आप अगर कोई कहता है कि भाई रोटी अच्छी नहीं बन रही तो किस कारण नहीं बन रही, ये ऑडिट हो गया ना. नहीं सब कहते हैं नहीं बन रही इसके लिए नहीं बन रही तो चलो वापस कर कुछ करके देखते, ऐसे नहीं होगा. So having a valid reason counts for an audit, and this is what we don't have. We never have a reason for an audit. We do audit, and I have so many audit formats before we prepared ours. And it was so surprising that even many best of the institutions had an audit for no reason. क्योंकि NAC मांगता है इसके लिए हम करते हैं, ये तो कोई reason नहीं बनता. This should never be a reason that NAC is asking for it. We have to show one, so we are doing it. And therefore, reason for an audit plays an important role. We'll look into this over here. While doing an audit, what counts? These are the 7 areas that count the most. One is, what is your vision and mission statement? The most important thing and the most neglected thing in India. All of us have a vision and mission statement because NAC wants it, because so and so wants it, not because I want it. 20 to 30% of institutional vision and mission statements चोरी किए हुए हैं. इधर का माल उठा के उधर चिपका दिया. If you don't have one, we can help you in creating one. We can really help you in creating one wherever you are. We can help you, and your teachers will design it out, a vision and mission statement. If your vision and mission statement is 20 years old, please change it. Maybe a vision statement may not change, but a mission statement can definitely change. The difference between vision is दूर की देखना, उसको vision कहते हैं, और mission है उस रास्ते पे चलना. अगर vision और mission साथ में नहीं जाते तो उसको कोई मतलब ही नहीं होता. So the mission must take you towards the vision statement. They must be related to each other. If they are not related to each other, that does not make any sense. I know one institution had made a mention, we will walk on the principles of Gandhiji. Now, how can that be so? That cannot be your vision. That is the mission of Gandhiji, not yours. He has his own vision and he is walking on the pathway. Anybody who wants to follow is following. You must have your vision. I am not against Gandhiji. I am against writing down some such kind of vision and mission statements. So your vision and mission statement counts. Everywhere that gets added to. It will add to each of these activities, whether it is going in that direction or not. Each and every staff member must know what the vision and mission statement is. It must be put up on the broad spaces. It must be put up on the walls. It must be put up on the website. It must be on the magazine, in the magazine that is produced. It must be there in every laboratory. It must be put up at public places, places where students and teachers are going to view it. Maybe it must be memorized also. It appears very foolish, but it should be done, so that every activity gets linked to it. It must be checked out during academic audit whether it is linking up with or not. If it is not linking up, it must be changed. Second is that quality. What are the quality assurance initiatives that the organization is taking? These are the key areas, a very important aspect that I am talking about. Quality assurance initiatives would mean that constantly starting something new, promoting the teachers to go for something new, promoting the teachers to do something new, promoting the teachers to make it better, promoting the teachers to work on it again and again for years together till it gets refined and it can no further be improvised or it can be improvised very less. The third part happens to be the administration and the management. Actually, it is the governance, the management, and the administration. There is a difference between governance, management, and administration. In Maharashtra, for example, the institute is owned by a group. They decide some policies. They may be written or they may not be written, but they are being followed very precisely. That is governance. The top level body, the apex level body, is the governance. What the middle level does is management. For example, no unethical business, that is governance. And all the principles coming on the governance are management. Every policy then in that case that would come in policy would be ethical. This ethicality comes with the management. Management is the middle management. Management is the principal, the director, the vice principals, the accuracy coordinator, the heads of the department. The administration is of course the office who takes care of the situations. And for a good governance, you need policies. Some time ago, the course that I was talking about. These policies should be written down. They should come on the paper. Then and then they are true. Otherwise, they are not. I remember in one of the meetings with one of the colleges in Pune itself, something very fantastic happened. The management asked me, what is it that is expected? They already had some person who's taking care of the consulting them. I said, you need to have, after looking into your AQRC, I feel that you need to have your policies written down in place. The person who was taking care of their MAC was very much bothered. उनको लग रहा था कि ये आदमी आ जाएगा क्या बीच में पता नहीं क्या होगा. So he said, वो तो क्या हम 2 दिन में लिख सकते हैं सर किसी पॉलिसी, इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. मैंने कहा लिखने के लिए नहीं है, वो इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए होती है. So an implementable policy must come into picture. So for which we need to know what we are doing, how we are doing. And we need to understand what is the difference between a policy, what is the difference between the process. A policy has several processes, and these processes often have a large number of procedures, which are called as the SOPs. At times, SOPs can be independent of a policy also. And what is the difference between policy? What is the difference between processes? What is the difference between SOPs that we need to understand? When we look at academics, it is that must be done. That is TOs, POs, and mapping, learning resources, having a good curriculum. What is the difference between syllabus and curriculum that we need to know? Syllabus is a framework. Curriculum is what we do to the syllabus. In other words, teacher and the institution convert the syllabus into a curriculum. The teacher and the institution converts the syllabus into curriculum. When a student is on the campus for 3 years taking an undergraduate education, what the university has given is the syllabus. what the college has done to the syllabus so that the student understands, enjoys, learns is the curriculum. So the role of the teacher, the role of the organization is converting the syllabus into a curriculum. The better you make it, the better you are remembered by the students. And therefore, a variety of things that come under that come under academics will be counted out while doing an academic audit. Then what more do we find? Student support, mentoring, fellowships, placement support, etc. That comes under student support. A big area that you are able to see is research, where again a research policy comes. Industry academia interface comes. Extension activities is the next aspect that you are able to see. See, if you look at the teacher has only 4 jobs to do. One, of course, teaching, learning, evaluation. That is academics. Second happens to be research. Third happens to be the part of what we say it as management. We work on a variety of committees. So that is management. And the fourth one happens to be community. So these 4 areas decide the teacher. These are the only 4 jobs that a teacher does. There is no fifth job that you do. So these 4 jobs must match up with the auditing processes. And then each and every teacher's work will get audited. Now, how to audit it? Auditing is this is okay that we are going to check these 7 areas. The part of administration will be an administrative audit, AAA. We are going to look into that also. But how do I check this? What should be the way by which I check it? Those areas which we check are with the help of certain parameters. These parameters are called as key performance indicators. And this is exactly the place where Badrunisa madam will be coming into picture. Badrunisa madam, kindly take the charge now. Please unmute yourself.
Good evening to all. Thank you very much, sir, for giving me an opportunity to take from here. It's really an interesting session to know about the academic audits and understand what will be audited under the heading called academic audit. As sir said that the audit is one of the self-implementation or self-reflection of the performance what a person is doing. On the other hand, here the self should be a organization, a big organization, a whole of the organization, I can say, because now we are talking the academic audit, which is involving the vision and mission, quality initiatives, administration, academics, student support, research, and extension. All these 7 things will come to a whole organization, and the whole organization has to run on one of the vision which has been seen by the management. But who has to complete the process to reach the vision? Along with the management, faculty, academicians, as well as the other related processes will lead to the getting of the result towards that vision. and creating that policies and procedures to move forward towards that vision, and by driven by the management through all the academicians, should be considered as a mission. Now, let us have a discussion, a little bit of thinking on quality. What the quality is, what the branding is. The moment we understand and quality, we think about the uh, presence of the best thing in that particular aspect. If I talk about organization quality, quality of an organization or quality of an institution, then the best, I think, if I have to admit my ward into a institution, then definitely I will be checking or browsing or asking people about the quality of that institution before I take an admission. And this is a general process. Now people will think for a primary level school also so much that what is the quality given by that institution. Now how that quality comes? Definitely quality comes when you audit yourself, when you think about yourself, and when you keep learning that where you are going wrong and where you need an implementation. Definitely this quality is not going to come in a day or two, but it is going to reach you in some years of time, and say minimum of 3 years of time. As Sir said that every process and procedure should have its key performance indicator, and the same thing we check in the audit. The audit gives a performance indicator and a check of performance indicator to know that we have reached what we have expected or not. Let us look into what is key performance indicator. So can you change the slide?
Yes, sure. I was waiting for you to tell.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just a uh, introduction to key performance indicator or KPI. If you look into NAC SOP, standard operating procedure there also you find some of the key indicators. That means every particular quality aspect should have KPI. Now, what is KPI? It is a indicators. Usually, a organization or a management will write during the planning phase or during the strategy which has been developed by the higher ups and planned that after so many years this we are going to achieve, or at the principal level, if you say in this particular year I am going to get this. That means when the strategy is being designed for that year, for that semester, or for 5 years plan, there the first KPI will be set, which will be checked to look into it quarterly or even more frequently, depends upon the decisions taken, and these KPIs will align the work towards the objective what has been put. Here the objective can be a vision which has been put. Now an example I have quoted here just to make you clear that how important the key performance indicators are. As Piyush sir was telling, the vision will be written by somebody, and knowing that you are moving in that path or no is very important. Something you are writing an vision and you're not moving towards an vision, and that means you're working in a different direction and your vision is different. That leads to a problem, and that is going to become a weak point of the organization. Here, imagine that you have a very large robot, and you have around 10 to 15 people or many people inside. Everyone will tell their own options or they think, because everybody's perception differs. Some think that if you go towards this end we will reach easily, if you go towards this end you will reach easily, you go straight, you go right, you go left. As we all know, we as an Indians, we know the suggestions are very much free here. And when that things are happening, finally the driver who is exactly heading that particular thing will be confused and doesn't know how to reach and where to reach. That is where indicator will come, that is where policies will be generated, processes will be generated, and procedures will be written that no one can suggest this has been written and these are the standards and this is the key indicators which is going to align everyone at one particular point, align everyone at one particular line, and the movement will be in a same direction. And that direction is really required to reach the vision of the college or vision of the institution. So please change the slide. Yeah. Now, those KPIs will give us an outcomes where all these KPIs or the indicators are going to provide us a result. As I said, we have the management will be only a should system, but all the branches are so many, like learning outcomes, teacher and student interaction, what care has been taken at that level, and what is the outcome is not only the result. Outcome can be a placement, outcome can be moving a student to higher education, outcome can be a result. There are too many outcomes if you take one process like teaching and learning. Result monitoring, analysis on that result, require an analysis, because without the analysis it's really very difficult to understand that we are reaching an quality. There are colleges who says we have 90% of results, but when you check the result, hardly you will find few students having distinctions and all are pass level. That doesn't mean that it is having an quality. Pass level is the result, but why it has been not reached to the perfect quality, giving a high number of distinctions, high number of first classes, that requires. So analysis is required at that minute level. Then quality control arrangements in the institution or in the departments or at the subject level. That is from the macro to micro level. If you go through, a quality check is very much required. You check at the level of admission, you check at the level of teaching, you check at the level of placements, you check at the level of result, you check at the level of having an interaction with your alumnus. This gives a arrangements, like you are having a proper dealings or a proper procedures related to the perfection of that particular.
Madam, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. So that so what I was telling is about the controlling a quality at each level. If you are understanding at each level that here we are going a little bit wrong, or here we need to improve ourselves, this is the core area which is very much gray for us. If you keep on improving there, that gives your quality. And to understand that gray area, you should understand what is the key indicators. So that key indicators will definitely give you a standards. So please, next slide. So here are some examples which I have put, starting from the administration or admin rate, you say, how we can set up the particular KPI at that level. Anyway, as sir said, we have a different programs where we are taking a course on setting up the policy, procedure, and key indicators. There we will learn in depth. Here, just I'm giving an example that how this can be taken care and how exactly this help us to get into an audit, taking a proper audits and improving our quality. Say, for example, admin rate is a KPI, and this is measuring the informations of the management where the percentage of those who applied to the university or to the college or to the department here and who has been offered an acceptance to study. In a simple language, I say number of applications received and number of admissions happen. Now, if I have an intake of 100 seats, for 100 seats, how many applications been received by your college, by your university, or by your department? Now, if you are receiving less than 100 applications, then the quality of that institution somewhere is going wrong. If you are taking an applications more than your intake and you are putting a benchmark that 60% only the student who is having 60% in previous study only will get the particular admission in that particular department. That means you have an quality. Because of that, you have received so many applications out of which you are selecting the number of seats. To reach that, you definitely should put your KPIs and understand that how you can benchmark that. Here, keep a benchmark. In your procedure, in your policy, you say that in a downline of 2 years or in a downline of 3 years, admin should get 95% of the admissions. Then work towards that. Keep that as your benchmark and work towards that. And while working, every 6 months or every year during the admission season, you verify, analyze, audit, say yourself that are you going in your right direction, or you have to change some of the aspects to improve your admissions. That is KPI. Move to the next slide, please, sir. Here I have taken another example, student outcome. Now, as I said, there are different outcomes what we expect from the educational institute. Here, provide a best possible service to the students to reach to that particular area. If I say result is your outcome of the student, then you should have a proper check and audit on your teaching and learning and evaluation of every subject, every teacher, every objective which is linking to teaching learning process. And understand from the day one of your semester started till the end, that in the first sessional or in the first internal assessment, how many failed, why they have failed. In the second sessional, is that failure has been improved. Say 20% failed in the first sessional examination internally, and you have analyzed after the sessional, and then you are going to take some measures due to which out of that 20%, you have decreased that to 10%. As every institution will take three or two internal assessment of the students, can you able to take the proper KPIs and see how the improvement is happening? Is the slow learners has been developed towards a fast learner during this semester, 3 months or 4 months of time, which is going to give outcome or the university result as the best? And if you are taking an outcome as a placement, is your placement activities are going on well? Is the trainings are happening? which type of companies are visiting. Are you calling the companies first? And before calling the companies, is the trainings are happening to the students? All these should be a minor KPIs which a placement department has to take care and improve your placements. This you have to do 1 year ahead, and see in that year if you have you have done around 30% placement or 40% placement, then check why not another 60%. What was the reason behind? Set the KPI, and in the next year you try to see the implementation of that. Likewise, there are different outcomes, what I said, and minute KPIs will help in improvement of your total outcomes of the student. Next slide, please, sir. Same way, I have taken another example of student to teacher ratio. As we all know that as per UGC norms 1:20 and as per AICT 1:15 is the student teacher ratio. And you need to understand here it is at the principal level, at the IQAC level, and at the management level, and your HR. All these people should be setting up a proper key indicator and see to it that you are giving the opportunities to a student to get a proper attention towards a student and get your result properly to do that. Like if you have more than that ratio, say you have 1:30 ratio, then how can you improve to 1:20 ratio or 1:15 ratio? Here also you have to keep some benchmarks and see to it that care will be taken to reach that which improves the quality, that measures or that gives a full attention towards a student as per the norms. Next slide, please, sir. Again, one of the very common area, that is attendance rate, student attendance rate. And as you all are very much aware that the NAC will go with student satisfaction survey. Student satisfaction survey or the student satisfaction means that how happy the student is, maybe with your class, maybe with your system, or maybe with your performances, or maybe your interaction or being connect with a student. One such, this one is student attendance. We all are very much aware that some students will attend some of the classes with a very much interest and some will not attend some of the classes. It is not because maybe teacher is bad. It is maybe because that the teaching methodology is not reaching the student properly and student is not interested to join that class. So just raise an alarm why that attendance is going low there. And if all the classes student is not attending, then it is a problem of a college or an institution or the head of the department. If a student is not attending the specific classes, it is maybe because of some unsatisfaction or some of the methodologies is going wrong with the student. So these are the way of indicators which generally happens with us, and then try to resolve it and reduce the risk, because if this will not happen, definitely it affects your outcome and thereby it affects further. After 3 years of time, it affects definitely your accreditations also. So understanding this KPI and working along with the KPI, auditing yourself again and again towards this API, maybe 6 months once, maybe 3 months once at least, you need to audit the department, the process, or the procedure. Or you can say audit the policy. That gives you an idea that is you're moving in a right path towards the vision or no. Don't audit, as sir also said that don't audit because you have to audit. Audit because you have to improve and get your quality further. Next slide, please, sir. Again, the same thing. One more example. I think I have taken more examples, and this is another, this one, that course completion or graduation rate. It happens to be in the colleges that admission will be, say, around 100 students. At the end of 3 years course, at the end, only 30 is graduated completely, whereas others are having backup. So accreditations or any kind of quality checks will check that who has completed the course continuously without keeping a backlog. So if your rate is 30% or 30 students out of 100 admitted, then your result is too bad. If it is 90%, definitely it is too good. So keep an KPI that how much you are going to say this year you got this much. Keep your standard that next year you are going to increase this much and work towards that. Give a proper thing that student can pass all the subjects in all the semesters so that they can reach the final year without any delay in taking their degree. That gives the another KPI towards this line. Next slide, please, sir. I think we are almost in the end. The whole idea of giving this KPI understanding is this is the key for your lock. And when you open the lock, definitely you should see your institution as one of the quality institution. Then you should have a proper lock and key system with you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity, sir.
Yeah, we'll go ahead with something more.
Yes.
Actually, now we come to the actual part of it. The filing methodology that comes in. This format has already been mailed to you right now. The process of mailing is going on. Each one who has registered will get this format. Must get it. If you don't get it, let me know. I will send it again. Not an issue. Now this is a format which has been made prepared by Cluster. Something different that I wish to tell you over here is you will be able to see this. You must have received it in the mail or it is in the process. For example, it begins with some very basic details of, it must begin with a basic detail. Now this would be day, time, who is the external. Now there is something that comes in. The one whom you call it from outside is the external peer, or he is also known as the external auditor. The external auditor, his details are extremely necessary. Who is that person who is auditing us? Normally there are at least two people. At least two people. Ideally there should be three people. For example, if you are in MBA, there should be at least one director or a principal who deals with MBA. There should be at least one person who is not in MBA but is perhaps going to see it in a different way. And if possible, there can be one internal auditor or there can be any other person, either teacher who is from MBA. So at least one person should be at an authoritative post. Primarily because he is going to, if he gives some suggestion, that will be accepted. Then when an academic audit is to take place, the management must know it. That अपने यहाँ पे academic audit हो रहा है. So for which ideally you must, the IQSC must push it into the management meeting. Here we have CDC that we wish to conduct an academic audit. The management gives an approval that would come into the minutes, after which an academic audit will be conducted. According to NAC, even NAC makes a mention you should conduct an academic audit every year. But in 2017, they also made a mention saying that if you cannot conduct it in 2 years, at least in 5 years, twice it must be done. An internal audit can be done every year. But an external audit may take 2 years or 3 years. We'll give you for some example. For example, an academic audit has taken place in 2017 or 2018. It is 2020 now, 21 now. The audit has made a mention that since new courses are to be started, an additional space is needed. अगर additional space चाहिए तो immediately next year ये space नहीं आ सकती. Then in that case you will have to construct a building, for which you will need a good number of sanctions, plans, acceptance. Then in that case university will be accepting the course. In this process the building will be ready, rooms will be available, and then the course can begin. Now in the academic audit, if a mention has come in that start new courses or start new programs for which a new space is needed, if that space is not available, space will be created. अभी अगले साल immediately आप जाओगे कि भाई हमको इस साल भी करना एकेडमिक ऑडिट, तो नहीं होगा, उसमें इसके कंप्लायंसेस आ जाएंगे. Whatever is given must be complied with. We'll take an example also within minutes. So therefore an external academic audit will take place at least after 2 years, ideally twice in 5 years. This is what I mean to say. But an internal audit can go on every year as a continuous process also. For example, admission process has taken place, is taking place, is going on. You feel number of admissions that are coming are lesser. What is going on wrong with that particular process? That time itself an audit can be done by accuracy. There itself it can be done. Whether the work allocated is right, whether the information given is correct, whether the advertisement that have come are right, whether the advertisement is reaching the people in a right way, whether there is any issue related to the fees, whether a concession can be given in payment of the fees, whether the quality of student that is coming is not good. What is the reason why the number of students are decreasing? When the process is going on, if you can understand it, maybe you can correct it out. This is the dynamism of this particular mechanism. It need not be कि एक साल में 2 दिन में ही हम ऑडिटिंग करेंगे, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Auditing can go on continuously. Rather, it should go on continuously. If you have that number of people, great. Your systems will be perfect over a period of time. They need to be recorded. They need to be verified. They need to be checked out. Internal auditors and external auditors. We are coming up with a course on internal and external auditors. Badrunisa madam is going to conduct it out. So those who are interested can definitely join over a period of time when their advertisement looks up. Now the designation of the team that is coming up over here. Then what are some basic details? Name of the trust, name of the college, address, establishment, etc. Institutional status, whether it is an university, whether it's affiliation status can. Now here what we have done is, we have also seen to it that we have kept files. For example, all this data that you will be able to see comes in file number 2 of IQAC. So the present format is also helping you to how to file it out. So ये the file number 2 में सब इसको रख दो. This is needed by IQAC all the time, so keep it with you. Then type of college, what it is, faculty, whatever the details are there. Now section 2. List at least 3 objectives of conducting the academic audit that we have made a mention over here. So those 3 things will come in over here. Then as made a mention, section 3, governance, structure and policies. Then you are able to see vision, mission, principal, whether the principal is approved or not, whether the principal is in charge, whether the principal is unapproved but is in charge, whether CDC meeting, we have CDC in Maharashtra, apex body meeting that I wish to make a mention. Somewhere it could be council, for example, in New Delhi we find councils are present. Somewhere else it could be management. So whether those management meetings are conducted, we have kept a score for it, so that yes, 4 meetings are conducted, 2 meetings are conducted. Accordingly, you start scoring it out, and in that section, the total number of marks will start giving us whether the things are going right or wrong, whether IQAC is formed as per the norms, number of meetings, etc., etc., whether a perspective plan is in place. Now, looking at these questions, you can start preparing. This academic audit complies with NAC. So whatever is asked over here, it is there in NAC also. So you are also preparing for NAC. This is what I am trying to make a mention of. So this helps you in preparation for the NAC. This also helps you in updating yourself. This starts helping you. Each of these questions is actually helping you to prepare for the next step in NAC. This is where it comes in criteria 6, for example. So here all these questions that are being made a mention, they are coming up over there. This format has reached you or is in the process of reaching you. Within a few minutes it must reach you. Then whether a student council is present, then what kind of student council is it present, whether it is elected as per the norms, whether it is an active student council, whether decisions have been made by the student. तो उसके proofs आपने देने हैं वहां पे, whatever the proofs have been asked out over there. क्या आपके पास स्टूडेंट रिड्रेसल से ये सारी कमिटीज होती है, whether there is a redressal policy in the college, यानी do you prepare policies. ये policies वाली बात बहुत important है. Policies must be prepared. As I made a mention, we are coming up with a book you can purchase. It will be very cheap. Just don't worry. And college libraries can easily afford it. इस type की books हैं. And you can look at those policies and you can prepare yourself your policies. We can also help you out in this particular. Whether internal complaints committee is present, ICC, whether it is constituted as per the norms. देखो ये सवाल आते हैं. These are the important questions. हमारे कई बार हमें क्या दिखता है, whether ICC is present, yes it is present. चलो आगे चलिए. और उसके अंदर क्या हो रहा है, वाकई कुछ कंप्लेंट्स आई है क्या, कंप्लेंट नहीं आई तो क्यों नहीं आई है, क्या मैकेनिज्म है आपकी, वो लिख के रखो. That is what is needed for NAC also. So these are the smaller areas that we are trying to put in. It looks a very objective form है या नहीं, पर इसका हर पेज का एक डॉक्यूमेंट बनते जाता है. And that makes your file a better file. That's what I mean to say. So whether number of complaints received, what is the action that has been taken, number of meetings conducted, कितनी meetings हो गई, meetings के outcomes क्या थे, and so. Anti-ragging committee है क्या, student grievance cell committee है क्या, ये सारी की सारी एक जगह पे आ जाती, सारी ये student committees, these committees come together in this particular aspect that you are able to see. SC/ST committee, ये सारी की सारी essential committees, that is what MAC expects. Whether RTI है क्या, परचेस कमेटी है क्या, डेवलपमेंट एंड यूटिलाइजेशन फंड उसमें होता है की कमेटी है क्या, आईसी का सर्टिफिकेट आपको मिला है क्या, एनआईआरएफ आपको मिला है क्या, आईएसओ आपने किया है क्या, एनी अदर एक्रेडिटेशन दैट यू हैव डन. All these would start counting out into marks, and those marks will reflect slowly into your grades, and that will help us in giving us, that will help the organization to know which are the areas they need to work out. So these questions will also direct you towards going to that end which needs to go. Now we come to library. Well, how is the library decision taken? कौन है, library committee decide करती है या head of the department करता है या library committee करती है. Then percent budget कितना spend हो गया, अभी यहाँ पे देखो कितना percent budget spend हो रहा है. Do you know UGC norm के अनुसार 8%, 7% के अबव अगर आप लाइब्रेरी पे आपके टोटल बजट के 7% अगर आप स्पेंड करते हो, देन इट्स अ गुड लाइब्रेरी. इवन NAC एक्सेप्ट दिस एज अ बेंचमार्क. यानी अगर आपका 8%, 10% है तो इमीडिएटली एक्सेप्ट हो जाएगा. और आपका बजट और उसमें से बुक्स के ऊपर या लाइब्रेरी के ऊपर होने वाली स्पेंडिंग which does not include salaries, that is what I wanted to make a mention. Whether you have an OPAC system, whether digitalization of library has been done, whether library utilization by the staff कितना होता है, all these questions they start coming one after another. देखो हर जगह पे फाइल नंबर डाला है, इसकी एक अलग फाइल बनेगी, इसकी यहाँ पे कंप्यूटर रेशियो एंड ऑल दिस थिंग, इसकी एक फाइल बन जाती है. All these when we go to departmental filing में क्या क्या आना चाहिए उसकी पूरी लिस्ट आ जाती है. All this would be evaluated in an academic audit. So it's a detailed list plus it's a confirmation that you have to see to it. For example, departmental staff details, appointments, etc. तो उनकी अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर होना चाहिए, वहां पे जेरोक्स कॉपी होनी चाहिए. वर्कलोड, क्या वर्कलोड है वो लिखा हुआ होना चाहिए, हर एक का वर्कलोड वहां पे मिलना चाहिए. टाइम टेबल डिपार्टमेंटल टाइम टेबल, टोटल टाइम टेबल, इंडिविजुअल टाइम टेबल, तीनों टाइप के टाइम टेबल यहाँ पर आ गए। टीचिंग प्लान एंड मंथली टीचिंग शेड्यूल्स आने चाहिए, टीचर्स डायरी आनी चाहिए, लीव रिकॉर्ड आने चाहिए। ऑल दीज should be present in the department. And if wherever the student needs an access, wherever, not everywhere. For example, a question banks आते, question papers आते, previous year's notes आते, वो बच्चों को accessible भी होने चाहिए, वो भी वहाँ पे देखे जाएंगे। So this is the list that you are able to see. Student progression कहोगे तो देखो सारे सवाल। All these questions have been given over here, and along with it, which file you should prepare ये भी दिया है, so that you automatically get organized. And over a period of this organizing ability will help you in facing the NAC. So on one side, your uh, audit, academic auditing has been done, and on the other side, you are able to see your file is also ready, which has been assessed, and the necessary areas have been identified out. We'll come to the administrative section of this particular audit that you are able to see. Just 1 minute. All these questions are there. I'm not reading them out. Academics, see how many questions that you are able to see. This is a large number of questions that you are able to see over here. Now we come to teacher related issues, student related areas, community and environmental services related areas, and then office. Now here you are able to see administrative audit comes in over here. This is the part of office that you are able to see. All these files will remain with the office. Let's just look into general administration में क्या क्या आता है, fee collection आता है, roll call generation from the software हो रहा है क्या, जनरल रजिस्टर हो रहा है क्या, आपका एलसी कंप्यूटराइज्ड है क्या, ट्रांसफर प्रोसेस कंप्यूटराइज्ड है क्या, ये बहुत जरूरी है। In progression, there is one question that how many students have gone for further progression. Today also there was a question that somebody had asked me that how do we identify that the progression has been taken? What is the proof for it? If your transfer process is computerized, then in that case, the TC that will be generated will be sent directly to that organization. लगे तो उसकी एक कॉपी आप दे सकते हो, पर ई कॉपी उनके पास चली जाएगी, तो उनके पास जाएगी तो आपके पास उनका सारे डिटेल्स आ जाएंगे। सो हियर इटसेल्फ यू गेट इट आउट, अदरवाइज देन यू हैव टू वेट। वो लड़का आएगा, स्टूडेंट आएगा, वो बोलेगा मैं वहां पे एमएससी कर रहा हूँ, देन यू विल से प्लीज गिव मी योर एडमिशन रिसीट, देन प्लीज गिव मी योर आई कार्ड फोटोग्राफ। ऑल दिस इज फूलिशनेस। इंस्टीट्यूशन टू इंस्टीट्यूशन ट्रांसफर होने चाहिए, दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। If that transfer takes place, it makes a big difference. Alternatively, you should ask that institution कि हमारे इतने बच्चे आपके यहाँ पे गए, please verify it. उसमें आपको 10 letters भेजने चाहिए. So this is one way by which. So it is going to help you in your NAC process. That's what I mean to say. Then extension and continuation of affiliation. If you are an affiliated institute, then first affiliation कब हुआ, उसका extension कब हुआ, permanent affiliation कब हुआ, उसका एनुअल एफिलिएशन होता है वो कब है, अनएडेड सेक्शन होगा तो उसका एफिलिएशन कब हुआ, क्या हुआ, ऑल दो डिटेल्स विल कम इन। एडेड कोर्सेज क्या है, अनएडेड कोर्सेज क्या है, उनकी गवर्नमेंट से एनओसीज आ गए क्या, all those details that you are able to, selection committee, whether it was right or was prepared the way as per the norms, whether the selection committee was given by the university, who was in the selection committee, इनके सारे documents यहाँ पे आ जाएंगे। Then whether there was a government nominee, whether there was a nominee appointed by the joint director, unaided section के लिए क्या है, then teaching staff का approval कैसा आता है, all these questions have been put into administrative staff. इतने अगर आप करोगे, this is sufficient for NAC that I am able to tell you. All these aspects have been taken care in the administrative audit. So academic and administrative audit में all these sections have been covered out. These 14, 15 areas, 16 areas that you are able to see, all these have been taken up over here. 25 areas have been counted out. So see to it that you prepare your files in a right way. all these are audited and they are maintained properly. Administrative audit can be done each year. Normally, financial audits are done. So that time administrative audit can be done. So administrative audit can be done each year because it does not involve other areas. But then academic audits can be done internally every second year. Externally, audits can be done once in every 3 years. Best practices. What are those best practices? Whether you have written them down in details, you put them out over here. This is a 18-page document that I have done over here. Now, besides these 18-page document, there is one more document that I wish to share. The uh, the 18-page document also comes with one more part that happens to be, it is how do you mark it up. So marking scheme इसके साथ आती है. वहां पे दिया है, here we have kept a separate space. It's the same thing, but it comes with marks. How many marks have you got? There, so all the breakages have the parts have been given. Here all the details have been given. The auditor gives marks looking at the data, and the final report comes in over here. This report is handed over. We come to the end of it. This report is handed over to the college. The college has to look into it. The college has the rights to ask why so many marks have been given. This brings transparency into the system. So all these aspects have been given. Here percentage participations have come in, and each section has its own marks. This is how a 1000 mark scoring has been done over here. So this is the second report that comes in, and there is one more report that comes in which I will like to share now. That is the final report that is submitted by the committee. I'll just take that once. Mm, Just 1 minute. Sorry, just 1 minute. Now, how will the final report look like? That is what I am trying to tell you. I hope you are able to see it. Now, the final report, after doing this entire process, in the first format, you are looking at the format and preparing the files. In the second case, the team has come, the team has these
Sir,
papers.
we cannot able to see the report. We can see only
Okay,
a folder.
okay, okay, just 1 minute. Fine, fine. Not an issue, just 1 minute. Now, is it to be seen?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
fine.
sir.
Thank you so much. Now we come to the final report. This is the report that is going to be submitted to the organization by the auditors. How will it look like? Academic and administrative audit dated so and so. The basic details of the organization which were there over there, the auditor will also make a mention where it is placed, what is it, and how old that organization is, etc., etc. Who runs that organization? All those details will come. Second part here happens to be the second part happens to be, it is about the auditing agency. For example, IPC Crystal India is auditing. Then in that case, who is the auditing agency? Who are the auditors? उनके बारे में थोड़ा detail आ जाएगा. Then you have observation. Sometimes that all that has been analyzed. Now, findings will be given in these 10 under these 10 headings: governance, management, and administration. That was taken together over there. Governance goes with the management, the top level management. Management comes with the principal and the and the local level management. Administration comes with the office. Academics comes with what you are teaching. उसके सारे क्वेश्चंस वहां पे है जो आप आई एम जस्ट चून इट आउट को करिकुलर्स एंड एक्सटेंशन में क्या काम चल रहा है व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन ओवर देयर व्हाट इज द स्टूडेंट प्रोग्रेशन एरियाज एंड हाउ दे आर प्रोग्रेसिंग नाउ according to those questions the results that have come out something very important library and infrastructure how is it being maintained and then something that the team has to do is the SWOT analysis. The SWOT analysis is not prepared by the organization. The SWOT analysis is prepared by the committee. So what are the strengths of that particular, they have to identify this. What are the strengths of that particular organization? What are the weaknesses? What are the threats? And what are the challenges that they are going to, I mean, say, what are the opportunities and what are the challenges that they are going to face. This is what would come in. And then comes what are the previous compliances, what are the previous suggestions और उसके ऊपर कितना compliance हुआ है and what are the suggestions that this committee is giving. These things come. Very recently I had done one, very recently, just last month or so, I had done one academic audit. I'm not keeping the name of any organization. Here you are able to see governance. The top level management of the organization is financially sound and a able decision making body. The parent body promotes the organization in every way. The governance structure supports all the needs and the just academic and financial demands of the institute. Management is it is at a director level. The director of the organization is qualified and regular full-time post. His work style has created and maintained a healthy working environment in the organization, etc., etc., etc. Then you are able to see under each area these details would come in. How is the administration? How is the administrative process that has been mentioned? How is the academics? Here, the committee has to go through these files. At random, they will be checking out some particular files and folders. How is the academics in this particular organization? What all things have been done in the academics that you're able to see? What are the co-curriculars and student progression that the particular organization is doing? How is the library over there? And what are the challenges what are the strengths of the organization? What are the weaknesses of the organization? What are the opportunities in the future that organization has? And what are the challenges that the organization is facing? At the end, whether they have complied with the previous academic audit. What is the compliance that was given, whether they have done it or not, whether that was a valid aspect given or not, ये हम तय कर सकते हैं या तो फिर वो compliance निकाल भी सकते हैं. And then what is the recommendation coming from this particular committee? This is all that comes in over here. This also I will be sending you as a reference so that you are able to see. Finally, it will be signed by the auditors. This will be shown to the principal. This will be accepted by the principal. The principal will give its acceptance. It will then be submitted in the management meeting or in the CDC or in the apex body. It will be discussed over there and the suggestions given, they need to be complied with. There the academic audit ends up. This is how the process of academic audit happens to be. I will be sending you the third part also. It remained from my side, but the first two parts have already gone to you. Now, in case you have any questions, please ask me. We have 15-20 minutes. I hope you have enjoyed the session. I don't know. It was a detailed one. We have tried to give all the aspects. Any questions, please? There were some hand raises some time ago. No questions? If there are no questions, then we can stop. The formats are given. we have a say, in case you are going to use the format, you have to tell us that we are using the format. There is no charge for it. But we expect that we are using your format for our academic audit. You may invite us, you may not invite us. It's absolutely okay for us. But if you are using our format, we request you to please tell us that we are using your format. We will immediately say, yes, thank you so much. We are all obliged to you. And in your particular report, you must make a mention saying that we have used this format from IQC customer intelligence. This is the minimum expectation that we have. Second part, if you want your academic audits to be done, please let us know. It can be done online, offline also. We will ask you to upload all the material. We'll help you in preparing out the material. We'll guide you in preparing the material. Then we will help you in auditing it out, online auditing. It will also help you to tell you that someone who, when it will be offline auditing, that time someone from your city can be appointed by us, or you can appoint the person. We will give them some questions. They will verify those questions. They will send a report, and we can prepare the report and give it to you. It comes at a very nominal cost. Otherwise, that who you will be paying over there is what we will be charging. This is one more point that you are able to see. And in case you have any questions, please feel free to ask us.
So there are some questions on YouTube.
Yes.
Will departmental audits form a part of internal audit? Is there a
Yes,
format for conducting departmental audits?
we have already given it in the name. You can only take that much of part for the departments. That much of part, there is a section for departmental audits. That section can be taken, that becomes a section of the departmental audit. The bigger audit has all these aspects. It's a very, very carefully drafted and prepared audit that has those questions. So selectively, they can be taken and departmental audits can be done. Any other question?
Yes. How does the institutions go about collecting the data? Is it at the departmental level, committee level? Because some data is individual specific while some is at the broader level.
Yes, you need to create a mechanism for this. This mechanism would come in this way. The data ask is to be submitted to the head of the departments, and the departments will be submitting it. They will be preparing their own responsible files, and they will be submitting it to the IPs. So it would be individual to the department to the IPs, and it would be that data would go into those respective files. The files have already been numbered. Those numbers have been given over there. So it wouldn't be directly coming from the teacher. There is one more thing that can be done over here. The biggest issue is data loss. Therefore, what must be done is the concerned heads must be made accountable. For example, all the departmental data will be coming from the head of the department. What is to come, the listed is over there. That can be sorted out and given to the concerned department. The head of the department will have to give it on in the writing saying that all the data has been submitted, that has been demanded has been submitted to IQC. Okay, otherwise the teacher does not hand it over. So therefore, data of the teacher will go to the head of the department. If it is a committee working, then in that case, the committee related data will go to the head of the committee or the in charge of the committee. He will be submitting it out to IQS. In other words, it is a tree structure that you are able to see. IQAC to the head of the departments and the committee coordinators. The committee coordinators will collect all the necessary information and they will be submitting it file number wise, and that will be submitted to IQAC, stored in the respective files. Data will be then collected and then analyze whether the right thing is in the right file, and only after which the audit will be done. An audit is not the responsibility of IQAC alone. Audit is of everyone. Audit is for everyone. Audit is responsible. So everyone is responsible for audit. I always make a mention. I always say IQAC, the person in the committee is a committee member. But whether you are in IQAC or you are not in IQAC, you are in IQAC. Nobody can say that quality is not my job. Everybody is responsible for the quality. So ideally, everybody is the member of IQAC. Only thing is that all cannot be a part of the committee. So a few have been chosen. Yes. Next question. Any other question?
Yes. Should swap be done by the internal audit committee too? Should the internal audit reports be shared with the external audit?
Yes. Yes. What can be done by an internal committee also? See, we need to know our strengths. If we know our strengths, we can improve them. If we know our weaknesses, we can convert our weaknesses into strengths. Any number of times a swap is done, it is welcome. Every year a swap should be done. That would be really very nice to know. We unless, and there are so many things we do not know. For doing a swap, then at that time your feedbacks can come, your suggestions can come. All these things can be taken, and a swap can be done. Swap formats can be created. We conduct swaps for organizations, especially if an organization is going for NAC, and if it is in the third year, we request the colleges that you conduct your swaps. We will help you in the best possible way, because you have 2 more years to declare it. सारे weaknesses निकाल के दे सकते हो उसमें से, और उन weaknesses के ऊपर बढ़िया काम होता है. Colleges की grade बहुत बढ़ती भी है. They are able to go leaps and bounds. So swap can be done, and a 3-year swap can be done, so that in the next 2 years what is to be improvised. A very detailed and a very critical swap is conducted by an IQAC. You can try it. Yes. Any other question you have?
Yes. Last one is, in the list of department files, what are the documents or records for activity planning file apart from the meeting?
I could not get you.
In the list of department files, what are the documents or records for activity planning files apart from the meeting?
When you see the list, you will automatically come to know what are the documents needed. Automatically, you will start looking into it. And in case you need any very specific, just contact me. I will help you from WhatsApp. I can just give the list of, even the Brisa madam can give the list. If any specific is needed, what is exactly needed, and then we can do that. Because it's a very, very exhaustive and a comprehensive list. So currently specifying exactly 1, 2, 3, 4 would be a little difficult, and we have already given it in the list. Any other question?
Yeah, all questions are done.
No questions?
No more questions are there.
Sanket, all is done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Will anybody like to ask live? Not an issue. We like to answer. If there is no question, then we can definitely stop. We have tried to maintain the time frame. Badrunisa madam, do you have to say anything?
Nothing to say, sir. It's really a good session, and we are at the time, right time to finish it off. If there is no question, I think we can
Yes.
close.
Any suggestion to come? Even that is welcome. Yeah, they are welcome.
Nothing much to say. These suggestions are here. Just
any participant wishes to say anything, even that is welcome.
yeah, to the participants, I would like to say that the now as every accreditation units are saying that compulsorily the college or the institution has to be accredited, like NAC also said by 2023 every college should be accredited, like that the norms what is coming and the change in educational scenarios what is coming, maybe due to pandemic or non-pandemic also. So for all this, only the way to improve ourselves is quality, and to guide that improvement in the quality in a number of ways, in a various ways, Cluster India is working, for which not only for this academic audits, internal audits, they can approach Cluster India for any kind of a reason, as Cluster India is ready to help in a small help as well as to the bigger level help. And everything is not with the money, as Cluster India says. It is the extension of an help towards the improvement of the quality in Indian institutions. That's what I say. I request all the people who are attended here to take this note and connect to Cluster India. Just put a message or directly a call to Piyush sir or me, or through the website, to take their concerns as much as possible.
Thank you so much. Let us stop. Wishing all of you a happy weekend to come ahead, and may you complete your academic audits very soon. May we be happy to help you.
Yeah,
May you go through our formats in a detailed manner, and your suggestions are welcome. Thank you once again for being with us, and we stop for that.
thank you.